Eagle Man amongst the crowd here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, getting set for the second half kickoff as Brazil leads the United States 2-0. The U.S. is out and ready to go. They look to be unchanged. Still waiting on Brazil. We'll see. They'll show up at some point. And all the while being watched by Ernie Stewart, the general manager of this United States men's national team, taking charge on August 1st. Who's he texting? Who's he talking to? What do you want to see in the second half of the U.S.?
I'd like to see the U.S. in the attacking third be more dangerous. Whether that's have a little bit of creativity in front of goal, putting better dangerous balls into the box, set pieces, whatever that is. Because towards the end of the first half, they did have better possession. They played their way into the game a little bit more. But still, you could see when they were defending and when Brazil raised it up another level, they struggled to stay with them.
Are we sure this isn't a remake of Spinal Tap?
Here they come.
Did they get lost? No, they are emerging now on the far side, the Brazilian players. Make no mistake, this is Brazil driving the bus on this whole deal this evening. It was the case pregame, and it's the case now. As we said, 6 changes available to each side this evening. 20 dressing for the United States. Brazil with a larger complement. It looked like. See if they're going to make any changes or not here. Beginning of this second half. It's interesting to see these little side conversations. You see Weston McKennie and Julian Green, Will Trapp and Matt Bialski at the same time. They all know how significant this opportunity is. They also know how easily Brazil could really ramp this number up a little bit. 45 more minutes tonight before the scene shifts to Nashville Tuesday night, where the U.S. will take on Mexico. What they call the kickoff series, some tough friendlies this fall. How will the U.S. start things off? Second half underway. 2 goals down to Brazil. And no changes for either side of the break. Really, Will Trapp under pressure. Talked to us yesterday about being the calm in the storm for this U.S. team. He says really learned to be authentic, be who I am, embrace what I'm good at, don't try to be what I'm not. Connect passes, open the field, clean up plays, use my positioning to support, in this case, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie. Just trying to play that ball for Julian Green, and Fabinho was across to knock it away. All right, Alex Curry down to the field. What are you hearing from the U.S. bench here as we begin the second half?
Well, Coach Sarakin said he made a couple points to the team during half, and he said that passing wasn't good enough. They had 2-on-1 opportunities on both sides that they need to take advantage of. Defensively, they need to stay compact, but most importantly, they need to play with confidence. Well,
it's a 4th corner here. We've seen the U.S. create some danger from these set-piece moments. That was Bobby Wood's shot, which was deflected out wide. It's Julian Green instead of Will Trapp to take this one. They play the in-swinger. Douglas Costa looking to lead the break. Ariola trying to run with him, or foul him, or both, and he can't do either. Neymar's on the far side. Rolled in Firmino, who was letting it go or couldn't quite bring it under control, but Yedlin's clearance all the way just out wide for Fred. Into the middle, Firmino stepping down with a strong hand to knock it away. Robinson for Wood. Can he hold it up on Marquinhos? Adams. Ariola running into the space, but Fabinho knocked it away.
I'd just like to know for one day what it feels like to have the speed that Douglas Costa has.
That'll be Brazil's first corner of the night.
I mean, Paul Ariola here, he tries 3 or 4 times just to kick him and take him down. The strength he has as well. Sense of balance, gliding along. And this pass, Firmino, it takes a poor touch. He's trying to take it in behind there. It gets cut off. Fred then rolls it across, and Zach Steffen.
Neymar, the ensuing corner. Green was flying through. Fred mishit it. Coutinho cut it in there. He's going to get back to the ball unless Stefan is alert. Zach Stefan was there just in time. Was the first American to score in the Premier League for a little more than 4 years. Last weekend with Newcastle against Man City. Runs out there. Ariola able to break it up and prevent any sort of attack the other way. As we talked about, sort of the sprinkling back end of the veteran players. Certainly Yedlin has been one of those. Getting some more regular appearances for the U.S. in this interim period under Dave Sarakin. Playing his 53rd game tonight since the January camp of 2014. And he came into a meeting with us before an early season Seattle Sounders game with the World Cup Brazil logo on his phone saying, "I'm going to be at the World Cup," and our reaction to him was to sort of laugh. "Okay, kid, sure." Well, he was right. Ariola decided to keep that in play. Weston McKennie. Duel there by Felipe Luis. He's going to tail out of Marquinhos. Robinson. Miazga going to react to that first touch. That was the foul from Neymar.
He does well to react there, Matt Miazga, because Neymar had closed down that gap pretty quickly.
In for Trapp. Overcooks that for Wood. Son hasn't had too much to do tonight there to grab it.
The United States have struggled when they've tried to play the ball through the middle tonight, John. And when you play with Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie as the advanced as part of that midfield three, neither of those players, their strongest attribute is that last pass or playing with their back to goal. And I think that's why this system favors getting the ball wide. And when they've had success, it's either been when Ariola's come in, DeAndre Yedlin's gotten around the outside, or when Julian Green and Anthony Robinson have done the same on the other. So whether Will Trapp can find one of those to advance, but if they get it wide, they need to get numbers in the box. And right now for the U.S., that final pass right now has really been missing.
Something happened there with Weston McKennie. He was down for a minute. He's jogging around a bit gingerly right now. Douglas Costa out dueling Anthony Robinson, and that ball out of the air, rolling across to Neymar! Stefan got a piece, and it's cleared off the line. Matt Miazga preventing a third Brazilian goal here in his hometown. Neymar again. McKennie able to ride him off the ball.
Well, it's Douglas Costa again on the right side, getting the better of Anthony Robinson time after time. Lovely pass, and I thought Neymar was just going to roll that one across for Firmino, who's at the back post. Instead, he tries to go for the back post himself to score. Zach Stefan does just enough to take the sting out of it, and there's Matt Miazga to clear it off the line and prevent 3-0.
Ariola has Yedlin advancing. Can wait for it though. Both teams have their substitutes up, getting loose behind the goals on either side.
Miazga's had a good night tonight, John, for the U.S. I think it was Firmino who ran off his shoulder to open up the scoring in this game. He's been very solid back there.
It's another foul as Coutinho stepped in on Adams.
A lot of times he'd had to come outside of the middle between the 18-yard box to close down Neymar. He's done that. Positionally, he's been there, and then again he reads the play to clear that one off the line. And you are seeing the maturation of a player that went to Chelsea at a young age, has been on loan twice, went to Holland where he made over 70 appearances with Vitesse. Now he's been at Nantes. He has a couple already, so I think he's a player that's going to be a part of that back line for a long time to come for the U.S.
Speaking of Chelsea, Assat Willian amongst the Brazilian substitutes. Anthony Robinson now coming forward for the U.S. Back in for Wood. Yedlin had to come inside to get to that ball. Jossie Zardes, who has really turned around his career this year with the Columbus Crew. Amongst the subs getting loose for the U.S. right now.
Looks like we've got Tim Weah getting ready to come on as well. I guess that being one of those wide positions, maybe for Julian Green or Paul Arriola.
He'll be playing against 3 of his PSG teammates: Neymar, Thiago Silva, and Marquinhos. And for that matter, last November, as still a PSG youth player, trained with Brazil. They had a couple days of practice in Paris ahead of friendlies in the November window last year, and Weah was one of the young PSG players just brought in to make up the numbers early in that week. And now in his hometown, he'll be coming on to play against them. Acosta, the other, speaking of players who have remade their careers this summer with his move to Colorado after injury and just sort of the emotional hangover of missing the World Cup. Bringing things to a tough end in Dallas. Arriola getting it away for Yedlin. Yedlin cut off by Casemiro. Quickly for Neymar. Firmino's in front of him. That ball's meant in for Roberto Firmino. Brooks the defender. Back for Neymar. Neymar's shot is wide. Here come the first 2 changes for the U.S. It'll be Julian Green and Paul Arriola coming off. What are your thoughts on Arriola tonight?
I thought mixed bag from him. When he had the opportunities to put balls in the box, the end product wasn't there. I don't think he saw a lot of the ball on the offensive end. He did some good work defensively, helping out DeAndre Yedlin, but not the night that he would have wanted against this Brazilian team. And then Julian Green, similar, but I think a little bit better. He put some good balls into the box. His delivery was good. When he had those moments, I thought he did produce. He was good from set pieces. And now you get an opportunity for a guy like Tim Weah, who you can hear right now some cheers coming in, a guy that can excite, a guy that has a lot of speed and is going to be hungry and motivated against some of his club teammates.
Yeah, born in the New York City area, moved to Paris at the age of 14 to join up with PSG. He'll take up the left. Well, Acosta looks like he's setting up in the middle with Tyler Adams moving out wide to the right. Certainly he's playing any number of positions for club and country. Important intervention again by Miazga to keep it from Neymar. Coutinho looking to dance on it. Broken up by Acosta just on the field. Cleared by Steffen. Who scored the first 2 games of the season for PSG, did not make the bench in the last 2, though, electing not to go out on loan somewhere else, at least for the first half of the season. Wants to fight one of the most impressive locker rooms in any club in the world. See if he can find his place in there.
He's got a coach in Thomas Tuchel that likes to give young players an opportunity. He was very instrumental for Christian Pulisic.
Fred for Coutinho, working on Miazga. Just cued that shot wide.
When it was talked about Tim Weah going on loan, Tuchel said, well, I'd like to keep him here because he impressed me during preseason. He scored a goal in the league. He scored a goal in the Trophée de Champion. He's a player that, look, again, is only 18 years old. So has some room to run and experience the game. And as long as he can continue to get games when he does and take advantage of those minutes, he's certainly a player, though, that has an exuberance to him and knows what it means and cherishes these opportunities in the United States shirt.
Cut his hair too since the last time we all saw him.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the old hair.
But yeah, to your point, when we sat down with him in Philadelphia in May, at the age of 18, just has a real sense of who he is and confidence and assuredness about him as Yedlin straight offside. Some of that comes from having as Dave Sarah can put it, not just a father who was one of the best players in the world of his generation, but is now the president of an actual country.
No pressure.
He's got a lot of friends and family here in attendance tonight. Excited to see him get on the field in the second half. Scored his first goal against Bolivia. Friendly back in May on Memorial Day. Neymar gets it away for Firmino. Acosta there to meet him, back out wide for Felipe Luis. pulled off the way he wanted, but was able to get back to the ball. Now he's just dancing around and enjoying himself. Casemiro looking to switch. Robinson trying to stay right on top of Douglas Costa. Plays it in for Fred. He's at the World Cup, but was banged up coming in and didn't see the field. Douglas Costa running inside. Couldn't find Neymar. Miazga there once again. Wood battling with Casemiro. Gonna fall to Calvin Costa. Can open it up for Tyler Adams. Thiago Silva right on top of him. Adams has it knocked away. Willian up and getting ready to come on for Brazil. This is Artur, who just not only made the move to Barcelona, but was compared very favorably to Xavi by none other than Lionel Messi the other day.
So you're bringing two players off the bench. One's at Chelsea, one's at Barcelona.
No big deal.
Okay.
Speaking of Barcelona, Coutinho there, playing back for Felipe Luis. Douglas Costa was trying to flick that along and just mishit it. Robinson able to shepherd it out, and here come the changes. That'll be Fred who makes way for Artur.
Settling into life at Manchester United, made a big money move right before the World Cup from Shakhtar. Some more minutes for him in a Brazilian shirt.
Yeah, we won the Copa Libertadores with Corinthians of Brazil under Chichi, manager of the national team. That'll be Douglas Costa, who set up the opening goal tonight for Brazil. Will be the other player to come off here.
He was really good tonight, Douglas Costa. Set up the first goal. Constant menace on that right side, always cutting in on the left. But then when he needed to, provided a moment of quality with the right foot. His speed, his power, his strength. Really, really good 60 minutes from him.
Willian, who's coming off a career year, career high goals and assists last season for Chelsea, played 70 games for club and country. In the course of last season, only Ivan Rakitic, because he was able to go two further in the World Cup, played more of any player anywhere in the world in that time span. Started every game for Brazil at the World Cup as well. Miazga down by Weston McKennie, able to keep it. Stu Holden joining in the wave here in the booth.
Why not? It's a party. They're enjoying themselves, certainly in the crowd.
Costa's touch, Wood able to pick it up. Really trying to get himself involved. Looking to go long on the switch for Yedlin. Felipe Luis with that the whole way. Marquinhos misplay that touch way as PSG teammate on top of him and winning a corner for the U.S.
It's actually how he scored his first goal for PSG, chasing down the ball like that. Does well there to take advantage of a missed touch from Marquinhos. As this one comes in, forces him into air, just slips off his foot, and there you go, corner. U.S. have been very dangerous on set pieces. This Will Trapp again with the in-swinging ball.
Trapp, we saw Green take the first one from this flag here in the second half. Trapp this time, big bodies are up from the back line. Fabinho up in the air, Alisson in a lot of traffic and they're able to snag it. And a quick outlet to Neymar. Coutinho, run off it by Anthony Robinson. And the doesn't really have an option, so he's trying to run around Felipe Luis. We've seen that once or twice in his time with Atletico Madrid. Coutinho looking to look off Helen Acosta, and then just grabs him by the horse collar there, drags him back, and a free kick. The ball was still rolling when it was taken quickly off the free kick. Came on a few minutes ago as a sub. This play there from Thiago Silva for Felipe Luis. Adams wanted to go quick. Costa seems to be in some pain there. Grabbing at his leg. It's a free kick for the U.S. Getting himself a warning from referee Fernando Guerrero. Helen Acosta this time last year, listen, he started the Gold Cup, started at Mexico, started at Honduras, was really growing into his own with this national team, and sports hernia surgery in the offseason. Tough start to the year with Dallas. Re-energized things with Colorado, now standing over this free kick. Now sending a good-looking ball, it's just missed. Weston McKennie in there. The flag stayed down. Brazil arguing for the offside.
It's a terrific ball in from Acosta, just dipping in behind, and what a chance. With the type of speed that ball was hit in by Kellen Acosta, all you have to do is just redirect it on target. And McKennie gets a left foot on it and steered it wide. What a chance.
That was a big thing early last year. He was scoring all sorts of goals, scoring free kick goals. Kellen Acosta trying to get back on that path now.
I think it's been good for him going to the Colorado Rapids. Just sometimes you need a change of scenery, and like you were saying, John, a year and a half ago we were talking about Kellen Acosta going to Europe and leaving FC Dallas, and then all the things that happened in between that you mentioned. But now he looks like a player that's re-energized. He's part of a team in Colorado that doing very well in the West right now in Major League Soccer, but he's playing regular minutes. He's playing in a role where a lot is required of him. He has a lot of responsibility. He gets on the ball, and you are seeing what we saw of Kellen Acosta a year ago. You are seeing a talented player. You can see his numbers this year, and that's from a midfield position where he's not always getting that far forward. So if he continues on this path, I think it's no secret he still wants to go to Europe at some point. I believe there's some options on his contract still with Colorado, but it seems to be a good situation for him right now.
Bobby Wood working hard in there. A couple of casual touches from some of the Brazilian players. In the U.S. a look on the ball. McKennie trying to turn the corner. And that flag's going to come up. Couldn't get there just in time.
He does well initially. Casemiro against McKennie. He spins him. He takes him on the corner, but yeah, that ball was out.
I've been a teammate of Kellen Acosta's with FC Dallas. He was in their academy at one point, 20-year-old before making the move to Germany. Now has made himself a regular at Schalke, runners-up in the Bundesliga, in the Champions League group stage. Here he wins the ball again. Going to clip it in for Tyler Adams. Very good friends, of course, there. Even though either side of one of the bigger rivalries in German soccer with Christian Pulisic, who not here, of course, injured with Dortmund the last couple of weeks, and able to make the trip over here for these games. Willian running in front of Neymar, looking to play in for him. Acosta got a foot in. As we said, McKennie's barged his way into the Schalke first team. Alex, what has he done so well to make himself a regular there?
Well, he said, honestly, I don't think it's about my game. It's more mental. My mentality is one of my biggest strengths. He said he takes criticism well. He's able to listen. And when he's not playing, he's not the guy who's mad on the sidelines. He's more of that guy that's analyzing what the other player in his position is seeing and what he can do better, and then analyzing the opponent so when he does get in, he knows their weak spots. But he's also a physical player. He said he likes to go hard into tackles. He's not going to back out of anything, because if you back out of a tackle weak, then you're most likely the one to get injured.
Adams there stepping in with a header. Domenico Tedesco, his manager at Schalke, almost apologetically telling us before this game about the 5 different roles that he's played so far. Coutinho's shot nowhere near. Getting some time spent at center back recently, and I think another one of the really shining spots of this pretty impressive young generation of American players.
And the mentality really sticks out to me that you heard Alex mention there about. It's one of those underrated, I think, attributes that is hard to gauge sometimes when you look at players and you evaluate naturally their physical and technical skill sets. But players that have that mentality, and you hear the winning mentality, what does that mean? At what point do you realize that? And Weston McKennie's a guy that went over to Germany at a young age, put his head down, worked hard, earned the respect of his teammates, but also showed a responsibility on and off the field to improve himself as a player, to listen to teammates, to push teammates to be better. And he was a player, John, that's constantly referenced by teammates, by coaches for that, of his ability to bring guys together in a way that's fun, but at the same time means business. And to me, that is the makings of a guy that can go far and that can be a fixture as part of this men's national team for a long time to come. He's played 25 matches last season at Schalke. His manager is a young manager that really likes his potential. I think everyone here does. And if he can continue to build on that, again, I think he has a very bright future.
Changes for both teams coming here, and eventually Kellen Acosta, a guy that benefited from a change of scenery. Jossie Zardes told us the same thing yesterday, how much he's benefited from a change in scenery on and off the field. He'll replace Bobby Wood. Listen, particularly whenever Josie Altidore does come back in the national team, the search for a consistent goal scorer, Zardes, who is just one off his career high, as many goals this season as he had the last 3 combined with the Galaxy, having tremendous success with Columbus, comes on with 20 minutes to go. Philippe Coutinho, who is off for Brazil. Another one of their newer players, in fact, making a debut in his first call. Lucas Paquetá. And Rodolfo Landeros, who's down there on the Brazil bench. Rodolfo, what can you tell us about this change here for Brazil?
Yeah, he's making Lucas Paquetá his international debut with the Brazilian team. He was called up after Renato Augusto was injured. And Adenor Bachi, popularly known as Tiche, he addressed the player. You have to keep your style, attacking midfielder, drop balls on top, but when the time comes, drop a little bit backwards to help Artur.
Paquetá plays for Flamengo. If you remember the game, Ezequiel Marcos signed by Atlanta, biggest transfer in MLS history, scored the goal at the Maracana in the Copa Sudamericana final. Lucas Paquetá just came on, was the other player who scored in that game against Marcos Independiente. A long run to try and get on the end of that by Firmino. Steffen's header, bouncing away from Willian. Thought he had an empty net to shoot out from midfield. Weston McKennie picks it up. Here's Tim Weah. Fabinho, the defender. Will Trapp. We've seen him score from here for Columbus. That one's on the deck, but it forces the first save of the night out of Alisson in the U.S. corner.
I joked with Will Trapp about that yesterday, about what he does well on the field. And I said, every now and again, you've got a screamer in you. Scoring one for the Columbus Crew earlier this season. This one is hit on the ground. It comes through traffic. And this is Alisson's viewpoint. Gets down, and he has that one covered. Good save.
Well, as yesterday, I wish I knew what my future was. Both opportunities in Europe as well as the reality of the situation with the Crew. In swinger by Trapp off the corner. Alisson the punch. Artur there to pick it up.
Oh, look out, Willian at that top on the far side.
Long run back for Kellen Acosta. Ball comes to Neymar instead. Now Neymar rolled in. Firmino onside. Paquetá running with him. How about Anthony Robinson? It's going to be a corner, but able to break that up.
Yeah, good work there by Robinson, because Neymar has had this pass a couple times tonight. In transition, Brazil breaking away, a little outside of the foot, finding Firmino.
Second corner for Brazil tonight. Somewhere down there when trying to take photographs. Sent in by Neymar, and it's just going to be wide. Thiago Silva flashing through.
And This is that counterattack, and just thought for a second Felipe Luis was going to hit this crossfield pass up to the top to see Willian. Really good job there by Kellen Acosta to track that run, and this is the outside of the boot. Round to Firmino. He takes a poor first touch, but good recognition by Anthony Robinson to get back and to put that one out for a corner.
Just a long run to get there, and Arturo beat him to it. Thiago Silva there in front of Zardes. The Brazilian has made his way over. Richarlison looks like getting set to come on what will be his debut. Player picked over Gabriel Jesus. An injury opened up a spot. Great start to life with Everton. 3 goals in his first 3. And a 3-game suspension now for a red card. Anthony Robinson. The pipeline for Brazil continues. Kellen Acosta will keep it on Lucas Paquetá. Firmino stepping in. It's going to be a free kick for the U.S. It might be Firmino's last action because they put his number up on the board. So Firmino opened up the scoring in the 11th minute. His 8th international goal. A career year for Liverpool. Neymar's penalty was the other right at the end of the first half. Richarlison, the 21-year-old. Now to make his Brazilian debut. Acosta, who won this foul, is standing over it. You get another big target in there with Chelsea Zardes on the field. Acosta delivered a great ball earlier. Another good ball in. Couple different players in there. And McKennie had the touch, but Alisson, comfortable stop.
I thought there was about 4 players offside there, but let's see. Yeah, 4 players, but the flag didn't come up, John. It wasn't going to come up.
On a quarter hour here at MetLife Stadium. It's beginning what they call this kickoff series. They've got Colombia and Tampa, Peru, and East Hartford, Connecticut announced earlier today, coming up in October. Matches in Europe against England and Italy in November. The Gold Cup next summer here on FS1. As Brooks let that go, and Stefan able to grab it. We'll start things off on the right foot. Andy Stewart, our general manager of the U.S. men's national team, watching in the stands, and whoever that next coach is going to be, odds are good he or she is not watching it live. They will be back on tape. Greg Berhalter's name has been thrown around a lot this week in the media, even though Ernie Stewart has been very honest in saying, I've not done one interview. But it was interesting, 3 Columbus Crew players, Stefan, Zardes, and Trapp, each with a different amount of time with Berhalter, and each with really glowing reviews. And we asked him about it yesterday, about his man management, his tactics, the way he builds the team, the way they've continued to have success, even as this ongoing saga of their potential relocation to Austin continues on the outside. Sort of curious your thoughts, Stu, on who stands out for you, who you would like to see in charge of this U.S. team going forward.
I also think Ernie Stewart saying he hasn't interviewed any candidates to this point is a little bit of a deflection, because he did make a comment earlier as part of the round table with a number of the media saying, when it gets to the interview process, I plan on interviewing 1 or 2, not 9 or 10 different candidates. So they built a profile. They're narrowing that down of what they want. And look, I think Greg Berhalter ticks a number of those boxes. A guy that played in a World Cup for the United States, a guy that has done very well in his coaching career, albeit a younger coaching career at some time in Europe, now back with the Columbus Crew, a job he's done very well there. I don't know if Dave Sarachan is the mix. He certainly doesn't seem to feel or convey that to us. A name that was actually thrown to me the other day, Peter Bosch, I thought was a very interesting potential candidate, player that's worked with a number of young players at Ajax, and his name has not been rumored. He was just suggested that he might be a good candidate. Ernie Stewart does have Dutch connections. I think a coach that was at Borussia Dortmund. I'm sure Christian Pulisic might have mixed feelings on that one.
What about you? Does it need to be a younger coach? Does it need to be an American?
It doesn't need to be an American, no. I think American coaches, we have some really good young coaches in Major League Soccer right now. I would consider Bob Bradley for the position as well, as a guy that has experience and has had success. The U.S. men's national team has done a great job in working with younger players at LAFC, and I think all these names are certainly in the mix, and I would be looking at all of them, evaluating them, if I'm Ernest Stewart, up against that profile that I have, the principles of play that he called it, the culture, the mentality, the winningness, working with young players, all that needs to be factored in. And look, I think Greg Berhalter, if that was the candidate, would be an excellent choice. So it remains to be seen. I hope that it's sorted out sooner than later, because I would have loved the new coach to have had the opportunity to have the team in some of these games. But I respect the process.
Neymar dancing around Weston McKennie, gets it away, but Brooks intercepts. And Neymar will be amongst the players coming off in a moment. Two Brazilian-based players getting set to come on, Everton and Dede. Thiago Silva and Neymar making way. Early substitutions 5 and 6 for Brazil this evening. The U.S. has made 3. They could make 3 more if they want to. Here's Neymar, last chance for him. Running at Yedlin. He's able to slow him up. And then a foul at the end of all that, and exchanging a little word there with Matt Miazga. Thiago Silva off for Dede, 30-year-old who plays for Cruzeiro, was really at one time one of the most promising prospects in Brazilian soccer, a 4-time best 11 player in the Brazilian league. In 3 years of knee injuries, returned last year as a regular, and this will be his first appearance for Brazil since October of 2013. Almost 5 years of injury nightmare for this player, and he returns from now, and you saw the hug from Thiago Silva as he comes on. Neymar the other. Everton plays for Grêmio. For the Libertadores last year. He's had a good start to this season. 12 goals in all competitions in the Brazilian league, which, like MLS, runs across the calendar year. Christian Roldan and Marky Delgado, who was only called in Monday morning to this U.S. camp, will be coming on as well for the U.S. No pressure for Christian Roldan, wearing the number 10 shirt, with 10 minutes to go. Let's pass with Richarlison. We saw Miazga a moment ago sort of standing up for himself with Neymar. What have you thought of his night tonight? Because if we assume that Brooks is sort of the incumbent in there, the spot next to him is open. How's Miazga done?
I'd say he stood up for himself all game long, and one of those players, and actually even going to our pre-match interview with Ernie Stewart of what the American player is, it's going to stand up in your face. I certainly think Matt Miazga has been one of those guys in this game tonight. And you know, just a recognition, an understanding of the game. Physically, he's got the attributes. He's come across. He's made tackles. He had the goal line clearance. So, if we're evaluating performances tonight, the guys that have performed well, I would say Matt Miazga is right at the top of the list.
It'll be Weston McKennie and Will Trapp will be coming off at the next opportunity for Seattle's Christian Roldan and Toronto's Marky Delgado. Here are youngsters who have gone sort of untraditional paths to get where they are. Roldan, someone who 2 years ago was sort of pushing off interest from Guatemala and El Salvador, where his parents are from, holding out hope that the call might come from the U.S., and he finally got in with them last year at the Gold Cup. And Marky Delgado, a player who was a Chivas USA homegrown player, and when they folded, it was not just that there were 6 players taken, 7 others were passed on. Flags up for offside. As Richarlison misses, and Delgado sort of fell in the lap of Toronto FC, and it being a part of the best season in MLS history last year.
Let's see if he's offside as this ball comes in between. Anthony Robinson just gets caught a little bit too far, disconnected from John Brooks, and the offside flag goes up on Richarlison as he pulled it wide.
So Trapp and McKennie coming off. How do you think of their nights tonight?
I think Will Trapp was unfortunate to have conceded the penalty on Fabinho, where he dived and won that one for Brazil's second goal. But I thought it was a solid night for Will Trapp. He connected passes well. He was always an option in the middle of the field. He was always willing to take the ball in. He made some timely challenges. He made some key passes forward at times. Good distribution for Weston McKennie. Similar. End product wasn't good enough. He had a couple good chances, one with a header in the first half, another one in the second half where he tried to redirect it on target with the left foot from the set piece.
It's going to be a whistle there for dangerous play on Christian Roldan. It is John Brooks, you can see on his left arm, wearing the captain's armband now that Trapp is off. Rising up above Richarlison to win the header. Roldan battling in there, caught Felipe Luis in the face, able to find Kellen Acosta, though how much he could do with that ball. Play stopped here. Fernando Guerrero, the referee, just to make sure Felipe Luis is okay. We mentioned a little bit this idea of some of the familiar names sprinkled back in. Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore, among others. You and Alexi Lawless have had some passionate conversations about that
yeah.
last couple of days. What do you think?
Look, I still think Josie Altidore is by far and away the best number 9 that we have in this pool, we being the United States men's national team. I think Josh Sargent has a ways to go to get games. Bobby Wood is not scoring goals regularly at the club level. Gyasi Zardes has scored goals this season, but I still don't think as a number 9 he's anywhere close to Josie Altidore when Josie Altidore is at his best. I still think, well, Christian Pulisic is a glaring miss tonight, a guy that can give you some creativity in that final third. I think Michael Bradley still has a part to play in terms of his experience, especially through qualifying. Knowing what it takes sometimes to go down to some of these countries, Costa Rica, Panama, in some of these tough World Cup qualifying games. And then I still think Brad Guzan is probably the number 1 right now for this U.S. men's national team. And I'd love to see a fight between him and Zach Steffen for that shirt, because Zach Steffen's done a really good job in there. The way he's developed as a goalkeeper, he's been given a great opportunity. You put Brad Guzan back in there, and he's going to have to fight for it even more. I think certainly long-term, Zach Steffen is going to be the number 1 for this team. But those are 3 players that right now jump out to me that can still help this team in a lot of ways, both on and off the field. And I know Alexi, I'm looking at him down on the set right now. He's giggling, he's waving at me, because him and I were very heated in this discussion last night, because he says out with the bathwater, and I love, because I have an opportunity to give my point of view right now, and he's standing there with no microphone. But look, it is an evolution, and Dave Sarakin and the next coach and Ernie Stewart have to decide when and if that time is going to be right to bring in some of these veterans that can help bring these younger players along. And that's all part of the process. And I think it's been a tremendous learning experience for this group over the last year.
A group that had 2-0 down tonight have created a couple of chances, mostly on set pieces. Those 2 saves out of Alisson, the Brazil goalkeeper. 2 goals conceded, one where Anthony Robinson certainly was burned, and the other just an unfortunate penalty to give up. Adams clipping into space. Delgado will return it. Adams trying to run away from Artur now. He's got support on the left from Robinson, who will send this ball in, looking for Zardes. It's going to fall for Christian Roldan. Back in front, stabbed away. The day. And a great little move by Everton, and then swept out his feet from under him.
It was a good little move, driving run from Tyler Adams again. Something he's done well tonight when he's had the ball, committing defenders towards that good ball in. Both Gyasi Zardes and Tim Weah going up to try and get it. Looks like Weah might have just got the slightest of touch to take that away from Zardes.
Goals this year, as many as the last 3 years combined. One off his career high. A player this time last year had just scored his first goal all year, was about to have a little spell at right back for the LA Galaxy. A player you would never see without a smile on his face anyway, but did seem to really just be in a very happy spot right now with how things have gone with the crew. Felipe Luis able to keep it in traffic. Samiro. Someone's just got a piece of him from behind, but he's able to find Lucas Paquetá. Open it up. Paquetá for Everton. Yedlin the defender. Roldan trying to support him. Their Seattle Sounders defensively coming together, and Yedlin able to sweep it away. Back in for Everton, who takes the body block there. Adams for Roldan. Didn't like his options there. Just plays into space. Maybe 3 minutes of stoppage time. You mentioned Tyler Adams a moment ago. Still 19 years of age. Star player that he's become for the New York Red Bulls. Dave Sarakin praising him yesterday, said his soccer has really come along. His ability to play quickly in tight spaces has really improved over the last year or so with the New York Red Bulls.
Well, and all indication and rumors are that he's going to be moving to RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga in January. And if he finishes the season strong with the New York Red Bulls, who are currently leading the Supporter Shield race in MLS, top of the East, big part of that team, being led by Chris Armas now, and it sounds like he's joining his former coach Jesse March at RB Leipzig. Will continue to develop as a player, and I think that's a really important next step for him.
And that was Adams right there, tracking back to intercept the pass meant for Richarlison, about an hour north of here.
I like him. He's got a bit of bite to him, and for a younger guy, doesn't back down from anything. He's got a tremendous engine. People hear people talk about that a lot. 7 assists this year in 23 Major League Soccer matches. He's another one that is going to be a part of this core.
Willian hasn't done much since coming on as a sub, playing a short corner. About 1 minute gone of the 3. A fairly quiet night overall. 2 goals from Brazil. Limited amount of fireworks. It's Fabinho now, playing back in. Everton is on the right side, cutting back on Marky Delgado. Dancing him back again, now clipping it in. Brooks there with the header. Second chance at it now. Ronaldson stepping in to force him back. Fabinho crossing in, stooping low to get a touch on that. Miazga heading away. Messi compared Artur to Xavi, just his ability to keep the ball in those tight little spaces. Good touch by Paquetá to find Willian. A few things that's gone wrong for Brazil tonight as Fabinho lets that skip under his feet. The scene will shift now to Nashville, Tennessee. Tuesday night against Mexico, always an occasion. Mexico in an interim period as well after Juan Carlos Osorio left following the World Cup. Willian trying to get around. Yedlin steps in with some good strength there. The Premier League players going at it. It's in behind for a goal kick. And Colombia next up. October here on FS1 down in Tampa, Florida. It is not the final whistle. Fans think it is, just a free kick. Still 30 seconds left. Looking at a handful of fans sort of turning around surprised. The game is continuing.
Bonus ball.
Anthony Robinson, final seconds here. Trying to get around Fabinho. Casemiro steps in. And referee Fernando Guerrero is going to grab the ball himself and blow for full time. A 2-0 win for Brazil tonight. What do you think of this one?
I think we've learned a little bit about this U.S. men's national team as far as some of the players that had good performances tonight. Matt Miazga is one that definitely stands out to me. I think we expected this result, this Brazilian team, with the experience they have coming off the World Cup. Bit of a point to prove. Neymar showing his quality, so on to Mexico.
Let's see what Dave Sarakin thinks. He's live down on the field with Alex.
Dave, what do you think of the team's overall play over 90 minutes?
Well, listen, we played one of the best teams in the world, and I think that we were a little nervy. We probably should have done a little better with the ball and had a little patience, but that's why you play these games. You know, the experience of this game, I think, is going to go a long way with this young group.
Anyone in particular that stood out to you tonight?
Well, you know, it's hard to single one person out. I think the effort was good. Anthony Robinson, at the beginning, was nervous, but I thought overall defensively he was pretty solid. But, you know, it wasn't an easy night when you play a team like Brazil, but I thought the effort was there, and the quality just needs to be a little bit better.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Well, coming up next here on FS1, Mike Hill, Frank Thomas, and Nick Swisher with MLB Whip Around. For Stu Holden, for Alex Curry, for Rodolfo Landeros, for Ian Joy, and for Alexi Lawless, I'm John Strong saying good night from New Jersey, where it finishes Brazil 2,